And we are live again. Hello, hello. I'm Fernanda from the Rose Meditation. And again, I have Nuno here with me. Hi, Nuno. How are you?
I'm very good. And you?
Very, very good. Thank you. Nuno, today we have a different approach because today is the launching of our challenge. And I really, really like challenges.
Me too.
Yeah, I have a lot of reasons for that, but I think when we say the word challenge, when we create a challenge, and when we create this kind of accountability between everyone participating, the results tend to be way better than if I decide, okay, I'm going to have 10,000 steps a day
Yeah.
and I don't share it with anyone. It's just inside my head. Like the chances that I'm gonna fail if I just do it by myself are way higher than if I share with someone, and especially if I decide to do it with a buddy. So this is one of the ideas of the challenge.
That's great. You know that it was measured the New Year's resolutions that if you share with friend or family member and add that accountability, there's a bigger chance of accomplishing those goals when comparing to those who decided but didn't share. So
But
that's what
it's not like 10% or something, like it's a bigger, way bigger different result, right?
indeed, indeed. So what
And
is this challenge about?
but before that, but if you share with someone, but if you have a follow up with someone, the chances are even higher, right?
Yeah, the
So,
famous accountability that you have your buddy doing the challenge with you or following up with you, and that will just push the results even higher. That's so true.
so this is the idea of our challenge, and this is why we are doing with everyone that follows us in Instagram and YouTube, or even people that are in our mailing list. So we're gonna share with everyone, but let's go to the challenge. The what motivated us to do this challenge? The last few weeks we were talking about this rushing way of life and this lack of sense of presence, that time passes way faster and we are not able to enjoy what's happening to us day after day. A lot of people just notice that the day passes by, but at the end of the day, what did I do today?
Yeah.
I didn't, I was working, thinking about my family, my loved ones, or a vacation. And then when I'm with my loved ones, I'm thinking about all the problems that I have in my work, or the tasks that I didn't complete, and so on, so on, so on. So much in our head that we are not able to relax and to enjoy. And with this excess of things, what happens is we lose our sense of presence. So our mind doesn't fix the memories. So it's like we are not present and we don't have memories of those moments. I think you wanted to say something about that.
Yeah, kind of every day you don't remember what you had for lunch. But
Hmm.
that too, not just for food, but to everything. It seems like you're not assimilating your life, you're just rushing your life on and on, nonstop, even while sleeping. You don't have that kind of memories or sense of presence, and always in a rush, always running towards something, even if you don't know your destination. And I think that's why uh, the reason of this challenge is how can we equipped, be trained, find the right tools to change that? Because
Hmm.
life won't change. The speed of your life won't change, but the way that you live your life can change with a proper training.
It's like you're not present, you're not living, you are in this automated mood. And
Mm.
I just remember this movie from like maybe 20 years ago. I think it was Ben Affleck. And like those unpleasant moments or something he could just pass by, and suddenly he was like 70s and he didn't remember what happened. It's similar to that happens to our lives, right?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
So
If we do
basically,
nothing,
sorry.
if we do nothing, that will happen. I think that's the thing. Like if you let go the leadership of your life, that will happen. You're gonna feel a rush. You're gonna feel that you're always late. You're gonna feel that everything is faster and ahead of you, and then you don't train mindfulness. You don't train to be present.
Yeah,
There's where it starts. How it starts our challenge, right?
exactly, exactly. And a lot of us, we read those books about habit change, Atomic Habits or The Power of Habit. Like all of us, we did read that. But I always like to say one thing is to know that you should quit smoking. A different thing is quit smoking.
Yeah.
It's different. You know you should drink more water, but this doesn't make the difference. What makes the difference is drinking water.
Yep.
So the idea of the challenge is give you the tools and give you the habit to add that to your routine. So you're gonna understand, you're gonna notice that it's doable, it's fast, and the impact that those changes are going to make in your life, especially if being more effective is not enough for you, being present is not enough for you, being happier maybe. But
Hmm.
even if those three you say, oh no, I'm good, really. But those techniques, they also slow down the aging of our brain. So if this is not enough for you, man, I'm sorry. I don't have any other reason for you to do this exercise unless
Mhm.
you say, "Oh, those guys, they look funny. Let me see what they have to do." But it
Yeah.
is what it
Or you
is.
have a challenge, like if you're a very competitive person and you want to give it a try to drive that side of your life into a challenge, whatever the challenge is. If that's okay, welcome aboard.
Gamification and the most pure uh, uh, way.
Yeah.
Okay. So, no, I think we can start explaining a little bit of how our challenge is going to work. Our challenge is going to work. So,
Hmm.
first of all, just to let everyone know, you don't have to enroll, you don't have to pay, you just have to participate. What we would love to have from you is your feedback. That's what we really are interested on. Of course, I know by myself that this works, and I'm gonna share something that just happened yesterday.
Hmm.
We were coming back. It's not a secret. I do Nuno classes, even though I do classes for more than 30 years now. I was coming back from Nuno's class, and I said, "Oh my God, it feels so good." It doesn't have to be a really advanced class. It doesn't. Any class is really impactful. And this is what I want everyone to notice, like the impact of the practice in your life. Even though you are an experienced student from us, or meditator, or even a yoga teacher, the impact is going to be the same. And I want you to share with us if you think that this makes sense. You were going to say something?
No, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So it's going to be split in 4 weeks, and they go every week, they go a little bit deeper, then the following week, a little bit deeper, and so on. It's going to be 4 steps deeper. Why? Why don't we start with the first one? Because for those who are not used to do it, it's going to be way hard to do the last one. So we're going to do step by step. and I'm sure you're gonna like it. So, the first week, we are going to do the box breathing. We're going to share every day the instruction, the videos, and everything. So don't worry about writing down or anything. I'm just explaining. So the first week, we're going to do the box breathing. Why? Because when we do the box breathing, the first thing is it's easy to concentrate. Anyone that never did that can do the box breathing because it's something very physical. And when you count the numbers, it's easier to be focused on just one thing. If you have those headbands, you can use them to notice the change of your brain waves. It's amazing to notice that. And when we do this kind of exercise, for example, the box breathing, if you are doing this, you're reading your brain waves, you're gonna notice the difference between them. You're coming from the beta waves, those really woo, to alpha
Woohoo!
wave. Ooh, they are good, but not all the time, right?
Yeah.
To something quieter and more focused. It doesn't mean, and it's quite the opposite, that you are not aware. You are aware, but you are focused. You are focused on what matters for you. And I always like to do the image that you are cleaning your thoughts. This is the idea. So the first one, no, is going to be the box breathing, and this is going to modulate our brain activity. It's going to improve the alpha waves, to improve the relaxation ability, and it's going to improve your focus. It's
Mhm.
going, if we go a little bit deeper, it's going to work on our vagus nerve in the parasympathetic system. So it has a big impact. Even though you are an experienced practitioner, you're gonna feel the impact. As I was telling, I hope you have more time than me doing those exercises. I have 33 years, and every day when I sit to do it, I noticed the difference. And of course, in 33 years, I cannot say that I did it every day. I didn't. And I didn't for some periods, and other periods I did a lot. And I see the difference in myself, like, and I can tell you, I love me more when I'm doing those practices. I am more present. I am more, how can I say it?
I think the overall regulation of your body,
Exactly.
in all terms of your body, it just starts with breathing. When you sit to do your class and you start with breath work, uh, that's what starts to happen. It triggers that change. It
Hmm.
glitters, right? We used that word a few weeks ago that it's a positive thing, so it's not a trigger. It's a glitter of your.
Glitter, glimmer,
Sorry,
glimmer.
glimmer. Yes, sorry,
Yes, it's
glimmer.
it's
Yeah,
a glimmer.
indeed,
Okay,
indeed. Yeah.
so we're gonna do that for 1 week. The following week, no, I'm gonna let you explain, but I'm just gonna say that we are gonna work on the abstraction of the senses. You wanna explain how this works?
Yes, it will be very easy if you're a musician because you are trained to do that, which is one of the most typical exercises of the abstraction of the senses is to pay attention into one specific sound that you are actually hearing, you're not imagining, in such a way that you put so much attention on that sound that it seems like, and your brain will express that the volume of that sound will increase and the volume of all the other sounds and other senses will be quiet. Why do I say that musicians are used to this? Because that's how musicians train. Yeah, okay. I'm going to listen to a piece of music. So if I'm a guitar player, there's a big chance you already have your default filter of amplifying the sound of the guitar comparing to the other instruments. If you're a drummer, you're gonna increase the volume of your drums from the music that you're listening, that you're training, that you're studying. That's how a lot of musicians train. But all of us have that. We don't need to be a musician for that. You just need to pay attention, and then you're going to notice that you put so much focus on that specific sound, then whoop, suddenly gets louder and everything else quieter. And this is a great exercise. There's because you're gonna really notice, you're gonna observe how impactful is where you put your focus on. That's it. That's the abstraction of the senses. Of course, your brain is kind of reinforcing, putting more energy, putting more inputs on those connections so you can succeed on that. That's why musicians, because they are trained, they can do it right away. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but all of us can do that. For example, people that love to read, they open the book and they get in the zone. You know that in the zone feeling that you open the book and then everything gets in mute, silent. That's also an exercise of abstraction of the senses, and so on. One very interesting thing is, for example, when you have a full blackout in terms of energy, and then suddenly you listen to the silence. You know when that happens on the city, and then, and then you notice that, oh, 1 minute ago I had so much noise entering here, and I couldn't interpret. I wasn't aware until it dropped. You know that kind of feeling that all of us had, it is the same. Just giving
Mm-hmm.
examples of not being mystical or whatever. No, it's a very technical thing. You put your attention, you emphasize one sense, and then everything else just quiets down. That's what you're going to do
Mm-hmm.
for 1 week.
Mm-hmm. A very known example of that, and one of my favorites, it's that video that they ask us to count there are those guys playing basketball, and you have to focus on something, and there is this monkey passing by and doing like that, and you just don't see it because you're focused on something
Hmm.
else. It's
Yeah,
similar to that,
it's
right?
similar. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We have lots of examples of abstraction of the senses in real life. That's true.
hmm So we're going to have the third week. And the third week, we're going to do an active concentration. And what is this? We are doing counting. And I love this exercise, even though it's not a meditation exercise itself. I can say for myself and for students that I thought this technique, that it's really effective. We're going to count up and count down at the same time, then we cross, and then we finish on the other side. And I already heard a lot of people saying, oh, I always had difficulties focusing or training meditation. They do this exercise and they say, oh, that's it. So for the third week, this is going to be amazing. Even though it's not a meditation itself, it's a really good exercise. And I'm going to remind you, if you have the headband, I want you to use it. I'm going to do this challenge. I'm sure Nuno is going to do this challenge as well. And we are going to use our headband and share with you the results. For you, probably they're going to be even bigger. So if you have it, let's use it. So this is going to be the third week exercise. The fourth one, we're going to do a meditation on an image. You want to explain that, Nuno?
Yes. So what we're going to do is to focus the attention on one image. Why is that different from the previous exercise? Because on the previous exercise, the image is changing. So we're going to use our mental voice and our imagination to do 1, 108, 2, 107, 3, 106. And you visualize the numbers at the same time that your voice is counting. Okay? That's one of the biggest difference between concentration and meditation exercise. In concentration exercises, we can make the image change, while in meditation exercise is more effective when you put your attention in one thing and that thing doesn't change, whether it's a sound or an image, the most popular ones. So being an image, that means I'm going to use one image that won't change throughout the entire exercise. And every time you lose your focus, every time your mind wanders, you're going back to the original, going back on track. It's like you're having, like your GPS is you driving a straight line to that destination. Always focus on that destination, that image. But then if you look to the side, you need to bring it back to the exercise. You go and you bring it back. When you bring back is where the meditation is more effective, is when you're training your brain saying, come here, come here, come here, back on track. Having that awareness is where you learn the most. And in another thing, notice that this is an active exercise. So you are actively focusing your attention in an image that won't change.
Hmm.
You're not just passive, you're
Mhm.
really concentrating. That said, if you lose your attention, bring it back. Lose your attention, bring it back. That's how it works. If we did this challenge upside down, I have I could almost bet some money that the results for just comparing the meditation, it would be way different. Because when
Hmm.
you train as a sequence, breathing, then breathing, you add the abstraction of the senses, then concentration, then meditation. You're preparing your brain, as you said, in different levels of depth,
Mhm.
meditation
Mhm.
or doable. Upside down, it will be very challenging. Okay,
Yeah.
probably not so effective. So I think it is a great challenge that we came up with. We train this in short classes. We train this long classes, so it will work. But there's one thing: you need to do it.
Yeah, yeah. So just a reminder, the impact that we are waiting for you to have in your life, you're going to be more present, you're going to experience more your life, you're going to be mindful, so your well-being, it's going to be improved as well. Less dispersion, more happiness. And then you're going to notice an increase of subjective time of life, which means not necessarily you're going to live more, but you're going to have a larger perception of your life. And this
Mhm.
is already a lot, even though I think you're going to live more. So the challenge is going to be in a group. We want you to participate. Come with us. Let's participate. Let's do it. It's going to be free. It's going to be 10 minutes maximum a day. We're going to give you all the information in our YouTube, in our Instagram, and if you are in our mailing list, through email as well. And what we want you to do, we want you to do it and to share your results, your feelings, and so on with us. We don't want you just to watch us, we want you to participate with us.
Yes.
So the challenge starts tomorrow. Just be channeled in our social media and you can follow us, and see you tomorrow. I want to see you there.
Yes. So have a mindful week and a mindful day. See you tomorrow then. Bye
Bye bye.
bye.